This creepypasta is called Hide and Seek. This happened when I was in preschool. There was a 2-story wooden building next to the preschool I went to. It used to be part of a university adjacent to my school, but it had been closed down for some time. I didn't know that at the time, though. I only knew that the teachers forbid us to go inside. Of course, that was reason enough for my friends and I to check the place out. Ignoring the teacher's warnings, we would sneak inside the old building and play games like hide and seek. The day following the events took place were no different. My friend Osamu was it first. He began counting just outside the entrance to the building while the rest of us darted inside to search for places to hide. I went upstairs and looked around until I found a room that looked suitable. A large pile of cardboard boxes stood next to an upright piano. There was enough room for me to fit in between the two and under the piano's keyboard, so I wriggled my way into the gap and crawled until I was far out of sight and no one could get me. Within seconds, I heard the sound of footsteps coming up the stairs. They paused in the hallway outside my door and then got softer. They must have been going into a room on the opposite side of the hallway. I breathed as softly as I could, sometimes holding my breath to hear better. The footsteps again grew in volume until it became clear that they were coming into my room. I couldn't see who was coming into the room, but I could sense their presence. I tried to huddle myself up as small as possible. "Where are you? Where are you?" The voice was somewhat muffled by the cardboard separating its owner from me, but I couldn't hear it clearly enough to know the voice wasn't one that I couldn't recognize. I tried to think of who it could be, but it was completely unfamiliar, meaning that was most definitely not Osamu who was looking for us. That didn't mean much, though. Our group had a rule that if anybody joined a game like hide and seek or tag partway through, they would immediately become it. So I assumed whoever was in the room must be someone who joined very recently. "Where are you?" they continued calling out in a sing-song way. They slowly walked around the room, but they didn't manage to find me. After pausing at the doorway one more time, I heard the footsteps slowly fade away as they walked further down the hallway. I didn't know how much time had passed after the person left the room, but it felt like it had been quite a while. "Hey, Kazuki, Takeru, come out. Already I give up," Osamu's voice echoed throughout the building as he called out for me and his other friends. "Yeah, I won," I congratulated myself as I squeezed out of my hiding spot and ran down the entrance where Osamu and the kids who had been tagged were stood. "Kazuki," he chided as soon as he saw me, "the second floor was off limits today. How am I supposed to find you if you're cheating?" "Oh, I'm sorry," I said, remembering that when there weren't many players, we stuck to the first floor. "But somebody did come upstairs looking for me. Did you switch places with somebody else who became it?" "No, I was it the whole time," Osamu insisted. "I never changed with anyone." "Wait, where's Kotaru?" somebody asked. He and I were the only ones who hadn't been found. When we realized he was still missing, we all began to call out his name as loudly as possible. Almost immediately, we heard a loud bang. We looked up only to see Kotaru coming up from under the floorboards of the hallway. I don't know if the space was used for storage or if the floor was in serious need of repairs or what, but he managed to lift up the boards and come out. "You were hiding there? Cool!" Everyone was excited over what was probably the coolest hiding spot we'd ever found, but the next moment Kotaru cried out and ran toward us. "What is it?" he screamed, pointing at his hiding spot. The rest of us edged towards the open floor to see what he was talking about. We looked into the gaping black hole. It was only lit by the sunlight from outside. What appeared to be several doll hands. Only the right hands, though, slightly larger than an inch across, were piled up inside the hole. Some of us cried out in fear, while others let out gasps of surprise. All of us ran away as quickly as we could. I'm pretty sure we continued playing at the old building after that, but I don't remember much else. I don't know why there were doll hands in there, much less why there were so many of them. I can still vividly remember seeing the tiny hands piled up, just like it was yesterday. And I was thinking about the person calling out, "Where are you?" Those hands must have been searching for us. The story you heard today most likely is based around what is called Hitori hide and go seek, which means hide and go seek by yourself. It's a ritual that you can do in Japan that involves dolls. The doll is opened up, hollowed out, and then rice is put inside to give it a lifeblood, a force, or a chi. You then go through a ritual in which you hide and ask the doll to come looking for you. There's more steps to it than that, and if you want, you can look up the whole ritual pasta online. I actually have a video in which I cover it on my Osoroshi Saturday show, and there was a point where I was actually researching this ritual where something very scary happened. And I'll go ahead and I'll put a link to the video where you can see I was going through not exactly the ritual but the description thereof, and there was this really strange chanting right next to my house during the making of that video, and it was one of the scariest, creepiest things that's ever happened when I've recorded one of these shows. So whenever I see any topic brought up about this Hitori hide and go seek, I always try to mention it because it's a very creepy game. I don't really believe a lot in the stuff that I research, but there was something really odd that happened around that. I don't have any explanation as to why or how. All I can say that is when you yourself do research these creepypastas and think about trying some of the stuff, be careful. Until next time, I'm Unrested. This was J Pasta.